Hey, what's going on, the YouTube? SEL0320 representing JVS. I just got done watching the film Roma. This film is available on Netflix. It is up for a Best Picture, Best Director, Best Female-led Actress, Best Supporting-led Actress, and I gotta say, it is probably one of the most immersively fluid films I think I've really ever seen, because the cinematography alone, in fact, the cinematography is actually up for a nomination as well. It just, like, it was so naturally fluid. It wasn't like, you go with the camera, like the camera is like just showing you an overshadow of how everything is kind of progressing, from when the maid goes down the stairs, and when the kids are going and doing something else, and when something dramatic actually happens, like it still keeps with that same exact progression and flow. There's one scene that happens when the character Cleo, she's going getting like a baby carriage, and trying to be able to have a crib for the baby, and all of a sudden, like, it pans to the right and everybody starts flocking to the window, and like legit outside it looks like a real war zone. There's another image where they are at somebody's party, and at the party, like, there's something that happens in the background. Like, you look at the background, you're like, what is that light? And I was like, is this a science fiction? And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, I see the smolders like happening, and it's fire. And I was like, this is insane. This takes place in the 1970s. I'll read you a brief synopsis real quick, just so you can kind of get an understanding, because I went into this movie completely fresh. A year in the life of a middle class family's maid in Mexico City in the early 1970s. So I'm gonna get a lot of these names wrong, but know my heart, like, everybody did their thing. So the director, Alfonso Cuarón, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I know him from Gravity and Children of Men, and I think the movie Watu Yoma. I think he also directed that really early on. But I mean, he wrote it, he directed, and also he did the cinematography for this film. And the fact that this film is never actually in theaters, and this was in Netflix, and it was like literally just platformed straight from Netflix and got that nomination, that is huge. That means that content creators and people that are pushing for Netflix know now that you don't even have to put anything to the theaters. Because honestly, this movie probably wouldn't have been watched by me unless I went and adamantly looked for it and like asked and pressed, and I was like, look, I really want to do press coverage for this so I can take it out. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have even seen it. I think even when the movie Room came out with Brie Larson, I didn't see that until after the fact. You know what I'm saying? And so, because they put this on the platform Netflix, this reached so many more people, got so much more buzz, and probably ended up how it got the nomination that it actually got. But the cinematography is amazing. Bar none. Like, the fact that he did the cinematography is insane. The simplicity of the writing, I mean, it's not like a story you haven't seen before, but I think the way that it immerses you into what's happening and how fluid it actually is, it just feels so natural, it feels so real, it feels so progressional. And that's all accolades to Alfonso. I think, honestly, Alfonso, personally, in my opinion, should win the Best Director. Like, I am still rooting for Spike Lee for BlacKkKlansman, but just on directing, I think that he should have it. I can't go and say I advocate for any of the other films for Best Picture because I haven't seen them all. But favorite, I'm gonna try to watch Vice, and I don't know if I have time to see Green Book. But for me, this was just so immersive, so well captured, and very emotional. And that is credited to, again, the two actresses. One of them is the maid that's named Cleo. I'm gonna get her name wrong, I apologize. Yalitza, Aparicio. She does such a great job because, she doesn't overact it. She doesn't really overact it. Like, she really, I mean, if I didn't know better, I would think like she was legit, this is actually her life, because if you showed me another movie where she just did like other acting roles, I really wouldn't believe it, because I feel like this is somebody that's legit devoted to this household, helping this household, tries to also live her own life, and very young, and then just things are just happening around her, and she's doing what she's supposed to do to the best of her ability, but yet everything is just closing in on her. Simultaneously, the other side of this is the mom who plays the role of Sophia. This is actress's name, Marina de Vieira. Tavira, I'm sorry. Simultaneously, while something has happened to Cleo, there's something also messed up that's also happened to Sophia. And it's like, you feel for both, but you definitely feel more for Cleo. You know what I'm saying? Because Cleo, one, also lives a life with his family. Like, she loves his family, she's devoted to his family, but she's also got some tragedy and messed up things that are happening in her own life in connection with all this. The other side of that is Sophia is very much so the mama of the house, very much so the dictator, very much so like when she's feeling, you know, overwhelmed, like she might take it out on Cleo, she might take it out on the kids, and you see that. You see that natural progression of how circumstances can just change the atmosphere. The other thing that's very special about this film that I find it does carry through is the fact that the director, this is his story. And about, baby boy, my son is crying, I gotta go get him. I'll try to close this out really quickly, but Alfonso, this is his actual story about his connection with his nanny and what she did for them, what she did for their family, and he wanted to tell her story. I think it is Paco or is it Pepe? I can't really remember which one is the one that's closest to him, but you could tell it. You could really tell it. And it's just, I think the thing about this film that I really appreciate is just how natural and how progressive this looks. Like, it looks like it's actually happening. Do I think this is easily win the Best Picture? Yes. Is it gonna win? I have no idea, but this is easily a 10 out of 10 film. Definitely go and check it out on Netflix. I'll talk to you guys later on. Gotta go get my son. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell button. Peace, guys.